I made it. I was finally a working business professional. I went out and I bought the black pinstriped pants, the one-button Gap blazer, and even the lifestyle women's comfort shoe to wear during the day, and then I could swap it out in the evening for my high heels. I was the business. I could hop into my slinky, swanky company car. It could be a Jeep Liberty. One time it was a Honda CR-V, but truth be told, my favorite was the minivan with all of its room inside. I could jet off to multi-billion-dollar college campuses with all my insurance, my gas, repairs for that company car paid for. I'd arrive on campus and I would seek out the most prestigious professors. Mr. Magnificent, yes. I see that you've already written 3 chemistry textbooks. However, I'm looking for a contributing author. However, I do work for the largest education publisher in the world. Do you have a moment? And while yes, he would give me a moment of his time, we would slip down to the latest culture hit cafe across the street. And as we drink our water and with lemon in it, and isn't life grand? By the time the check came, I'd simply push my company credit card across the table because all business meals were completely paid for. I was the business. I had abundance oozing out of my ears, right? Sadly, no, that couldn't be furthest from the truth. Even though the sales meetings, the annual sales meetings, consisted of 3-course, 5-star meals atop of restaurants with candlelight for 30, and we'd simply get into the fully stocked Hummer limos as they ride us to our hotel accommodations, that not even the moon and stars could beckon me from my sleep from the pillow-top softness of those mattresses. I'd confront friends and family and ask them, what could possibly be wrong if I am just not feeling abundant in this situation? They'd say, you have a great job, Rachel. Can't you just think of the positives? But I was working 40 to 60 hours a week. I was in a hustle and bustle to make my goal. I was constantly feeling lack in my life, not good enough in my life. Sure, I had 4 fancy pants new company cars. That also meant, once I counted, I had drove over 500,000 miles in 8 years. That also meant I had lived half of my life from a suitcase. When I washed laundry, it went directly into a suitcase, never in my dresser drawer. My favorite love, what do I like to do? My passion, cooking, it didn't exist. What's the point of stocking a pantry and a fridge that you have to leave in 1 or 2 days on another road trip? And while my job was absolutely fantastic and wonderful, it was for someone else. And clearly, I began to realize it just wasn't a good fit for me. But what was I going to do at this point? I had made the most money I had ever made in anyone in my family. I was a small town woman that had held a position and a job that no one in my family had ever held. There was no way I was going to quit a great salary with a company car, a laptop, and a cell phone. So what could I do? Well, I took this issue to, let's just say, somebody bigger than me, right? Maybe that knows some things I don't. And I simply prayed. Do for me what I cannot do for myself, because I am not happy. And so 2012, Christmas came early for me in October, although it didn't feel like Christmas at the time. I had been called in and I was terminated immediately for my position at work. And while I was relieved on one end, the bigger part of me was like, Rachel, what are we going to do with that apartment you just moved into the day before? And now, at the end of the week, by Friday, you have no car, no cell phone, no laptop, and no salary. What are you going to do? Well, I had no clue. The only thing I could do is simply just collapse and surrender and just say, I don't know. I don't have a plan here. All I know is that I'm half relieved and I'm half scared to death. And so, a month later, I ended up moving in with my partner, even though it wasn't an ideal situation. I let 85% of my belongings go in my life. To be honest, I couldn't really care because my health had deteriorated. For 3 months, I didn't have the energy to get out of bed. I was so exhausted from my 15-year career. The only thing I could do is just get up and do writing. I could write. Naturally, I did that. I started reading books. I started being a full-time cat butler for the cats, opening the door. I started cooking at home. I started making videos in my pajamas without even a shower and posting it to YouTube. I began involved with Toastmasters, with activities. I fostered kittens because I had always wanted to do that, but I couldn't do it before when I was traveling. And all this meanwhile, I was worrying about money in between, crying about money, figuring out what am I going to do about money. When all of a sudden, I realized a year had gone by, and I was more myself than I ever was with a corporate job and a company car and a cell phone and a laptop. And again, I couldn't explain it because I was having so much abundance in my life. Do you guys know how many days it takes for a pink rose to bloom? Do any of you know? It takes 7 days. And the only reason I know that is because perched on the brown corduroy sofa love seat that I sit every morning and write is a single pink rose. And I know that it takes 7 days to bloom. I never knew that in the corporate world. And with all this abundance overflowing my life and having $9.67 in my bank account, it didn't add up. It didn't make sense to me. So I went back to the source and I said, all right, what's up with this? Give it. What's going on here? And I simply got this message. What, you didn't get the memo? Broke's the new abundance. Did you think it was just tied to money? Because that's just silly. Thank you.
unanimous points. Great job to both of our speakers. Now it's time to vote for the best speaker of the day.